privilege of working with our Blue Band students and conductor this weekend. This year, our students have had the honor of learning from Dr. Dan Tembras. Dr. Tembras is the Director of Instrumental Studies at Purdue University's School of Music in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where he teaches conducting and music education courses. Please read more about all of his accolades in the online festival program. And now, please join me in welcoming Dr. Dan Tembras and the amazing students of the 2002 Alabama All-State Blue Band.
All right, I'll keep this really short. We've got a couple students who are going to talk to you about the music that we're performing today. And first up, on our program, we're performing Claudio Grafola's Freischütz Quick Step, and I'd like for Tanaya Brown from Escambia County High School to come up and tell you a little bit about it.
Freischütz Quick Step. Spanish immigrant Claudio Grafulla, composer of the famous march Washington Grays, rose to popular prominence as a composer, arranger, and band leader during the American Civil War era, an amazing period of development in the history of the American band movement. Much of his music is preserved in the archives of band and government libraries around the country, including the best-known band book of the era, the Port Royal Band Books, which is where the parts for this piece were obtained and on which this arrangement for modern band are based. As was common at the time, Grafulla borrowed his melodic material for this piece from Carl Maria von Weber's opera, The Freischütz.
speak about our next piece, we have Evan Woodfin from Elkmont High School. Please welcome him.
Our next piece is called Melodious Thunk. Melodious Thunk was inspired by a famous jazz pianist, Thelonious Monk. Monk's wife, Nellie Smith, named him Melodious Thunk because of his clunky, awkward, and brilliant piano playing, and his somewhat scatterbrained and disoriented nature. This nickname provided great musical inspiration and became the starting point for this piece. Big fat thunks are interspersed with pointy, clunky, bluesy blips, which are then transformed into a long, smooth, laid-back melody accompanied by a funky bass line. I haven't conscientiously borrowed any specific tunes or licks from Monk, although I do use a small fragment of Dizzy Gillespie's tune Salt Peanuts. But I hope you hear some similarities between this piece and Monk's iconic musical style and quirky attitude.
First of all, don't they sound great? Doing okay. Doing okay. It's been my distinct honor and pleasure to be invited down here. I need to thank a couple people that are here. First of all, Mr. Joel Henson and the Alabama Bandmasters for giving me the opportunity to come work with these fantastic musicians. So, Mr. Henson, thank you so very much. I also need to thank two people that have saved my life the last 48 hours in trying to get together a band of 166 people. I have two kids at home. I don't know how I can't even get them together. So trying to get 166 of temporary adopted children together is a difficult task. But it was done because we've got wonderful folks helping out. So thank you to Ms. Heather Henson, who's been incredibly helpful in this process, and also Mr. Alex White, directors from Alabama. Next up to tell you a little bit about our third piece is Ms. Jada Hicks from Marbury High School. Please welcome her.
Our next piece is titled Ash. Jennifer Jolly is currently a professor of composition at Texas Tech University, but hails from California. About this work, Ash, she states, "I never saw snowfall as a child growing up in Southern California. It was more of a phenomenon that I saw in cartoons or read in children's books. I did, however, witness my first ash fall when I was in elementary school. I looked up into the clouded sky and saw specks of ash falling from it. Excited, but puzzled, I looked to my elementary school teacher during recess and held out my hand. 'Oh, that's ash from the wildfires,' she said. At that time, I couldn't comprehend how an enormous forest fire would create a small flurry of ash flakes. Now I have the ominous understanding that something so magical and beautiful comes from something so powerful and destructive."
wonderful. I have the privilege of presenting a plaque to Dr. Tim Bross from the ABA. It reads, presented to Dr. Daniel Tim Bross by the Alabama Bandmasters Association in appreciation of your outstanding service. And he has been amazing. He is a perfect combination of musicianship, humor, and absolute kindness. As guest conductor and clinician of the Alabama All-State Blue Band, Mobile, Alabama, April 7th through 9th, 2022. So congratulations on your plaque, and then your students have a gift to present to you. Let's congratulate him.
All right. So the last piece we're going to play is completely opposite of what you just heard. And it's very fitting that it's happening here in Mobile, Alabama, not to be confused with Mobile, which I was told very, very obviously that's not good. So Mobile, Alabama. But first what I'd like to do is I'd like to acknowledge that these students can be here without amazing teachers in your schools. So if you are a teacher of one of these students here on the stage, can you please stand up so we can acknowledge all of your assistance in helping these students get here today? And now students, it's time for you to thank your family who came here, some of them from over 5 hours away just to hear you play. So if you are an immediate family member, one of the students, can you please rise so that these students can acknowledge you? Thank you again for the incredible honor and opportunity to work with these wonderful students. It's been amazing. It's the funnest part of my job. And so we're going to have Rebecca Bryers from Baldwin County High School. Did I say that right? Rebecca, where are you? I said it? Okay, good. She's going to come up and talk to you about this last piece, American River Songs. Please welcome her.
American River Songs is a fitting work to end our concert, particularly here in Mobile, as it is based on tradition and composed music of an earlier time when the rivers and waterways were the lifelines of a growing nation. Pierre LaPlante writes, American River Songs begins with the rousing setting of Down the River, followed by an expansive and dramatic treatment of Shenandoah, or Across the Wide Missouri. As it is sometimes called, after a brief transition, a brass band is heard playing a quadrille-like version of Stephen Foster's The Glendy Burke. As The Glendy Burke travels along, a second theme is introduced by piccolo, flutes, and tambourine. The second theme is based on a Creole bambola introduced by that tune that probably originated in the Louisiana Delta region. Other composers have used this tune, have used this melody, including Louis Moreau Gottschalk in his La Bambola opus for piano and his Symphony No. 1, subtitled A Night in the Tropics. The Bambola theme is marked by an incessant, syncopated ragtime rhythm and used to good effect in the coda to bring American River Songs to a rowdy, foot-stomping close.